In today's video, I'm going to talk about a few different type of finger tape brands for Jiu-Jitsu. Although there are several brands out there, these are some of the more popular brands on Amazon and brands I have personal experience with. I'm also going to show you how I wrap my fingers and what I think makes a good tape and not so good tape. With that said, let's get into it. There are a few different reasons why someone would want to use tape for Jiu-Jitsu, but the reason I started using tape is because I train primarily in the gi, and with all the gripping, there is a ton of tension on your fingers and knuckles. All this tension causes my knuckles and fingers to get inflamed, and sometimes it gets to a point that I can barely close my hand into a ball when I wake up. Taping your fingers can prevent your fingers from being overextended or sprained. Other reasons people use tape is when they have an injury or a scab or some type of open wound, which is actually pretty damn gross. If you have any other reasons why you use tape for your fingers, please leave them in the comments below. The size of tape is a personal preference. I don't think there is the perfect size. The size is based on the width of the roll. The smallest finger tape you can usually find is 0.2 inches and goes up to 0.5 inches. Generally, anything wider than half an inch makes it difficult to wrap your knuckles. I've actually never tried 0.2 width, but because it seems like it would be a wire wrapping around my finger, I just avoid it. With me today, I have the three most common sizes: 0.3, 0.4, and 0.5. The type of glue being used is probably the most important characteristic of finger tape for me. The quality of the glue is a non-negotiable, and this is how I determine if I'm even going to consider sticking with the brand or not. See what I did there? I couldn't tell you exactly what makes glue or adhesive better than others, but I do know that certain brands completely come apart when you start sweating. Now, I'm not saying that there are brands out there that are 100% resistant from coming off. I've literally bought some brands, and after using them for a week or so, I just toss out the rest of the rolls because it's frustrating to keep using tape that constantly comes apart during a training session or is impossible to take off after you're done. And you have a ton of glue left over on your fingers and you have to fight with it to get it off. You know you have a quality brand when after a hard, sweaty session, the tape is still on your fingers. I selected 3 different brands of tape for this video because they are the only ones I buy on a regular basis. The first one is Bighorn, the second one is Monkey Tape, and the third one is Gold BJJ. The first company I'm going to talk about today is Bighorn. The one thing I really love about the Bighorn brand is the fact that they actually ship the tape in a box, right? Most companies won't ship a tape in a box, they'll just put in some cheap plastic thing, and I get it. You got to do this as cheap as possible. But when you get something like this, and they just ship it in a regular flimsy Amazon packaging, there's a good chance this circle will be an oval or whatever shape that it's going to come back in. And the fact that they invested money into the packaging means their commitment to actual great product. So that's one thing I love about Bighorn and why I continuously buy it. To be honest, if Monkey Tape actually is put in a box, I'd probably buy it more often, but it's a straight up gamble. But the other great thing about Bighorn Athletic is that they have all kinds of colors: pink, blue, green, tan, black, white, and I think there's a few other colors. The tape on it itself has a perfect amount of stretchiness. So when you put the tape on your fingers, it doesn't stay on so much that it cuts off the circulation. And after closing your hands a few times, it just gets to the right tension. So there's kind of a limit that it's going to stretch out at. The second brand is Monkey Tape. Now, the reason I love Monkey Tape is because they are one of the only brands that do 0.4 inches. And I think for me, this is the perfect width. 0.5 is too wide, 0.3 is okay. But I find 0.4 gives me the perfect amount of support. The only thing with the 0.4 is that it's such a popular size or something that it's hard to get all the time. Before I shot this video, I went on their website or their Amazon store, and I actually saw that they had 0.4 in, so I ordered it. And lo and behold, this actually came in undamaged, which is very rare. So with 0.4, I find it's the perfect happy medium. I love it, but until Monkey Tape puts it in a box, I'm not really gonna buy it all that much. Now, the next one is gonna be Gold BJJ. This is 0.5. I actually used this once, or a roll once for a little bit, and I just stopped using it. What I did find for Gold BJJ is that this is the perfect width for stripes around your belt. So I've given this to my instructors before and they use it as stripes because I like nice clean looking stripes that aren't like medical tape and all mismatched sizes that never come off. And the great thing with Gold BJJ is that if you put these stripes on your belt, I just run a iron over it. Make sure you put like a parchment paper or some type of heat protectant so you don't fry your iron and all the adhesive gets on it. But I just find this to be the perfect stripe belt. So I keep this basically for that. So with these 3 brands over here, these are the ones I like the most. The other ones, there's a brand called Hampton. And the thing with Hampton, I just stay away from it because it always comes off. Like it just never stays on, and it's just a bunch of strings hanging down my fingers after I'm done training. So I use 1 or 2 rolls and I gave it a fair shot. After that, I just literally threw the box away. Now there's another brand called Meister, and Meister I think is, they make very like hardcore athletic type of tape, but it's way too much adhesive. When I take it off, first of all, it's impossible to take it off. And then when I take it off, there's literally glue stuck to my hand. So I just stay away from that. And these are very popular brands on Amazon, but just because they're popular doesn't mean they're great. So my recommendation is these 3 brands over here. If you like the wider one, that's cool. I think with Gold BJJ, they have a black. Monkey Tape makes 3 colors, so you can get it in tan, black, or white. And Bighorn has all the different colors that you want. I'm gonna go ahead and tape my fingers here. I may not show the whole thing because I don't wanna bore you guys to death. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do 0.3 on one finger, 0.4 on another, and 0.5 on the other. And then that way you can kind of get an idea to see the different thicknesses and also how I wrap my fingers. So what I usually do over here is that I start at the bottom and I bring it around over here. And I'm also using my fingers the whole time to try and get it wrapped around. So this is not a how-to video. I'm just doing this to show how you do different widths. And what I do is I go with usually the X style over here. So one thing that I do is that when I tape at the bottom, I make sure I go around the edge. I try to keep it so this way when I finish off, it's right over the tape. Otherwise, it tends to come off pretty quick. So this is the style that I use. So that's 0.3. And I have 0.4 over here, which is the monkey tape. The first one was Bighorn. And I'm gonna put this over here. I'm gonna have this. Actually, I haven't used monkey tape in a while because they didn't have this, but now they do. And so here it is. So I'm gonna have this on here. I'll grab that. I'm gonna put this on here. So just also so you can see, when it's a little bit longer, it lifts up a little bit. So I've actually been liking 0.3 a little bit better, but this just goes over here. Now I'm gonna use the gold, which is 0.5. And so a little bit big. And here, I have this, I have that. And I'm gonna pull this over here. So as you can see, the problem with this is that it's way too much tape. There's a lot of excess tape over here. I'm not a big fan of it. And so with this, it pretty much is just taping up my whole fingers. So I think 0.3 is probably where we're going to go long term. But these are going to be the differences in terms of 0.3, 0.4, and 0.5. So you can see over here again, this is 0.3, nice and clean. 0.4 is not too bad. Obviously, I was rushing. And then 0.5 makes me look like a mummy. So I'm definitely not down with that. When you get the tape, one of the things that you have to do is obviously take it with you at the gym. And this is another frustrating part is if you just take a piece of tape, throw it in your bag, eventually over time, it's gonna become disformed. The end's always gonna be coming on loose. And so what I actually found was, this is another Amazon brand that came and gone. They were called Absolute Grip. And I tried looking for them and they actually made 0.4, but they lasted on Amazon for not even 6 months. So I bought them like twice and after that they were gone. But what they did was they had you, they sent you a cool case with your order. So the nice thing about it is that this fits most tape, a little bit a little bit hard to get off, but once you open it, it's perfect. You can fit 2 rolls in here. And the nice thing is that when you take this and you just toss it in your bag, the tape always stays perfect. If you found this video helpful, please support the growth of our channel by liking this video and hitting the subscribe button. If there is any specific jiu-jitsu gear you would like us to review, please leave us a comment below. Thank you for watching this video and don't ever stop training.